Welcome back, you guys. Happy Soulmate Sunday. So, my name is Kat. This is my channel, Pure Premonitions, and let's get started with your beautiful love reading on this magical Sunday. Okay, so how have you been feeling? What's been going on in your love life? How was beautiful love day? Did Valentine's Day treat you right? Were you single? Did you go out on a beautiful date with somebody new? Are you already in a committed relationship? What's going on? So, do we think that we are in a soulmate connection, or are we searching for one? Or are we separated from one? I don't know. You tell me. Okay, so basically, this is pretty easy. You just ask your questions intuitively. I pick up on them, and then as I shuffle the cards, your energy gets instilled, and we see what gets pulled. Okay, so that being said, they're telling me this one. And there's like this little notch out of it. I'll show you. Ooh, okay. That makes sense. You see this? I felt like, ooh, it feels like a piece of my heart was taken out. One of my cards is messed up, right? And it makes sense because it's the Nine of Swords. So, unfortunately, I'm feeling like maybe Valentine's Day didn't go so well for you, or you're dealing with a lot of worries and anxieties, possibly a bit of depression, kept you up late last night. But don't worry, do not get stuck in this hopelessness. So, good thing is I'm gonna pull the past card. I don't know. I'm feeling like this past energy, right? This happened yesterday. It's in the fucking past. Whoop! Sorry, it is what it is. Yeah, there's trauma here. There's big traumas. You definitely have been going through some suffering, but what you're not seeing right now is that there is growth here. There is something beautiful that comes from the darkness, right? You're able to see the stars. And you're going through this completion of learning how to be compassionate for yourself, learning how to pull this strength from deep within. So, I'm sorry if it's been keeping you up late at night and you've been having even nightmares about it, or just, feeling really lonely in bed is what I'm getting. Geminis could be relevant here, any of the air signs, but anybody, just Geminis in particular. This has definitely been weighing on you, though. This has been pretty heavy on your heart and your mind. This is what's been going on, what you've been experiencing. But if you notice, see, this person's covering their eyes because they're just so sad, right? Possibly cried a lot, or you're just deep in the fears and the worries and the loneliness. But look at the bedding. There's all of these beautiful red roses. It's like this love, this compassion has to come from within. There is growth here through these dark times. Okay, now let's pull our What's at Hand card. What's at hand? Flipping it. The Hanged Man in reverse. So we're still in a bit of a delay. You could be resistant to change. The particular person on your mind that you're thinking is this soulmate connection could be resistant or stalling. But there's some kind of standstill here, or an indecision. Somebody did not make a choice yet. And it's because they or you are in fear of sacrificing what they know, like the solidity of their life as they know it, any kind of foundation that they've already built that didn't include you in it prior to you coming into their life. But there's this big lack of control still. Like, the whole point of their fear and anxiety of not moving forward is because they're fearful of losing this control, but they've already lost it. Like, you're not in control. Just FYI, tip from the universe, nobody is. It's the number 12 card, which boils down to a 3, which I love threes. It is all about communication and creatively listening to your intuition and going deep within and seeing things from a new perspective, a bigger picture, right? That's hangman energy. So right now, because of this indecision and this stalling or resistance to change, and sacrifice, they, or you, again, I don't know exactly what we're talking about yet, but I'm feeling a they energy. they just, yeah, they're not able to see this enlightenment. They're not able to view things differently right now because they're stubborn. Any of the water signs, in particular Pisces, the hangman is ruled by Pisces. So somebody could be wearing red pants, red leggings, or yellow shoes, blue shirt. Woo! What had happened here? Okay, split the deck. Yeah, what did I tell you about a choice? A card fell. I'll pick that up in a second. But as soon as I split the deck, we've got the Two of Swords here. So somebody is closed off in their heart space. They want to be blinded to this situation. They don't want to look at the water, which is their emotional truth. And they're very guarded right now with the swords up. It's this difficult decision weighing on them heavy. They're avoiding this energy like no other. At standstill again. Okay. You're going through a lot of struggle. Both of you are feeling overwhelmed. There's some defensive energy, paranoia. Oh my gosh, these cards are just like flying out right now. Hold on, let me finish reading this and then I'll pick these up. It's making you feel exhausted. A lot of fatigue and lack of motivation from this. The good news is it's a bit of the boundary that's been put up has been put up by you or them. Number 9. So at least this is ending. This is a completion. But again, it's in reverse. So it's like we're so resistant to change in this reading. But you're on the edge of just choosing to end this exhaustion, to end this overthinking, the paranoia, the fatigue of all of this. And what you're blocking yourself from is this personal celebration, this inner harmony, this beautiful Four of Wands that could have come from this union. But right now there's just this breakdown in communication because the Four of Wands is in reverse as well. So there's definitely a conflict happening here. But the good news is we are transitioning through it. Both fire signs. So water and fire signs are coming up heavy here. These are the two that flew out at me. I'm going to just shove them back in there. Oh my gosh, what else? All right. The good news is you're very intuitive. You know what's up. You've got the High Priestess energy here. This is definitely you coming through. It's the subconscious knowing. Your heart, deep in your soul, you just know the truth. And you have to rely on that. You cannot let the ego consume your thoughts. You cannot let it take over your sensitivity because you know the truth. You know it's real. And you just have to stay confident and strong in that knowing because that's pure energy. You are tuned in to this higher frequency and you have to stay in that realm. Don't let it bring you down. Stay in these high morals. This is the beginning of something, a very creative endeavor. I truly think that this is something beautiful that's going to come out of this. So we've got the King of Cups in the upright as well. So if you're the High Priestess energy and your soulmate's the King of Cups energy, they're finding this emotional balance. They're finding this internal compassion, and they're learning how to seek this control in a diplomatic way, to balance it all out, to become this supportive partner and leader within their family and community that they've always wanted to be, that they know that they can be, right? Like this, we both have High Priestess energy. We both know how empathetic and tapped in we are. There's still an illusion here, though. There's still some kind of mystery to this. We've got the Moon card in the upright too. Maybe you have some premonitions coming to you in your dreams or in the awake 3D state, but subconsciously there's still some fears and anxiety. Don't let that get in the way. Heavy Pisces energy, that's what the Moon is ruled by. And again, a number 9 card, 18 equals 9. So we've got this mystery in between the King and the High Priestess. Like there's just something, still some kind of anxiety and fears, but it's surrounded by a knowing. It's like there's just still something that's not being said that needs to be. And we're talking about emotional here with all of these waters coming up. We've got the Judgment card in reverse. So somebody's still in self-doubt mode. There's a lot of lack of self-awareness, internal critic, self-destruction mode. They're just ignoring this call from the universe. They're putting themselves in this like loathing punishment. Why do they do that? So why do we do this to ourselves as human beings? Ugh. But the strength is here. 2 card, 20 boils down to a 2. So we are balancing these polarities. We're balancing the fire and water elements, right? And with the strength showing up, all about fire, Leo energy. Power, strength, control, it's coming. If it's not already here, especially for you, the more in tune one. The courage, the passion, the subtle power, again, that internal knowing. You have the power to influence, to persuade people into this higher dimension and towards the light, right? But you need to find your internal strength in order to focus that compassion to draw them in. Okay. Dun, da, da, da. I pulled so many cards, but like they were just what flew out at me, not even what we are pulling. One more on the floor. It's what we don't know. It's what's hidden because it's on the... Oh my God, the 2 of Swords fell again. But it's in reversal this time. Okay. There's no right choice. They're very confused right now. There's a lot of indecision. It's like they're just getting information overload and they'd rather stay blindfolded and not even look in that direction of emotions. But you do have to choose. And the beautiful thing of it is that once you take that blindfold off, this card is all about duality. The 2 coming together, the settling of this energy, union, love, balance. Okay, this one. Right now, what's happening for you guys right now? The Chariot. There is beautiful movement happening. There's progress. People are making action. You're integrating all of this intuitive knowledge now. This determining action is able to become willpower. And that means that you guys are actually going to step into your control and to choose a direction. Stop with this indecision. There's a departure of some kind. Maybe in order to come together, somebody has to move forward, like literally physically move towards the other person or vice versa. You're definitely on an energetic, figurative level having to depart from the old mindset, from the old patterns and ways of thinking and doing. And that is going to take courage, right? But you have the strength showing up. You have the lion showing up. So the willpower is there. The control is going to come as soon as you make the decision in the right direction. Egypt could be significant. So could Britain. We've got a couple of beautiful castles in the background. And look at, you see how the tapestry over this, I'm not sure if it's a king or a knight, but the tapestry over their head is covered with stars. So they've got that intuitive knowledge too. And as soon as that epiphany happens, the spiritual awakening, and it, you know, when it hits them, they just know what direction they need to move forward in. Even though they've known intuitively all along, but now the decision is made for that movement to happen. We love that in the present. So that's what they're currently going through, right? Having these epiphanies. In the future, the King of Cups showing up, and you saw me reshuffle. We love the King of Cups showing up twice. Yes, so this really is their energy balancing out emotionally. They're finding this compassion for themselves and for you again. They want to balance this. They want to be this supportive partner. And they always have been. They've always been this very empathetic person. A Pisces with Aquarius energy, so fire and water. Aquarius and air. All right? I don't know, you guys tell me in the comments. This card is ruled by fire and water, but Aquarius is not. Oh, Aquarius is water, duh. I'm like, air. Ah. What do we got here? These yellow shoes are showing up again. Somebody's got yellow shoes. I don't know. That's something to be said. But we love that they're showing up as the King of Cups in the future. Okay. I want to know a little bit more. This is the first deck I chose, so we're going to do it. I need to know a little bit more. I like the Oracle decks over the Tarot decks because they're a little bit more modern, I'll say. And they can tell me what's happening more literally than figuratively. Oh, this is the one. Okay, over the Hangman. Beginnings. So even though that there's currently this delay, right, they're in resistance to change because of this fear of sacrifice, this indecision, they want to try again. Deep down, that intuitive knowing has this new direction and they want to start over with you. Look at this red rose. What did I say before with those red roses that were on the quilt? There's beginning here. There is a new, beautiful beginning. So as soon as they let go of this need for control and this resistance, and we have to let go of the past fears and anxieties and worries and any past traumas that were triggered, let go of that suffering. That's when we start to open our eyes, wake up, and recognize that these red roses of abundance and love, support and growth were there the entire time. Okay, so over that Nine of Swords, yeah, there was a lot of bitterness in the past. They were holding on to resentment. You were too. A ladybug, a red ladybug could be significant. Somebody could have even been holding on to some anger here because of some hurtful words that were said, and it was thorny. Look at this thistle. I love thistles though. They are the flower of Scotland. When I was over there, I got some jewelry with some thistles on it. But they are definitely very thorny bushels. So that's how we were feeling, right? This resentment and hurtful words and sadness, that's what was so sharp and heavy hanging over our head. Okay, and then currently in our present position card with the Chariot, physical too. Physically, we're feeling rejected. We're feeling abandoned and dismissed. And it's all stemming from irrational fears. Somebody could have had a hoodie, like they wore a hoodie. That could be significant. And they walked away. They chose to walk away and reject this union. Right now, they're still facing away from you. They could, even if they were the one who rejected you, I'm feeling like, look at this person's head is down, walking away. It wasn't an easy decision for them to abandon this. It really wasn't. Especially knowing that deep down underneath that, this is clarifying the Chariot, that they internally, intuitively, right, with the stars overhead, know that they want to move forward towards you. But it takes willpower and courage that they just don't have right now. Look at with their head down because of these irrational fears. You're so funny, girly. Don't knock my cards down, please. Okay, over the King of Cups in the future. There's an emotional storm. So, yes, this king... You're so cute. She likes to drool when she gets happy. This King of Cups, notice how rocky and turbulent the waters are under his feet. But he is on solid, firm foundation. So no matter how turbulent the emotional storm gets, this person has to remain emotionally balanced through the turmoil, through the unstable feelings, or whatever it is that's affecting them. They cannot continue to just look away. They can't continue to hide this. Look at, they've got to stop doing that through the emotional storms. The only way through, or the only way out to the other side is through. Period. So the King of Cups has to look forward. They have to look ahead. You can't, somebody steering their ship wouldn't just be like, okay, let's try to get through this. No. Girl, I love you, but you're so funny. Come on. Okay, last deck. I might do a part 2 later, but I do have to run out of here soon. What does my collective need to know? I want to know a little bit more here. What's up with this beginning? They want to try again. A new direction, starting over. This one. We have to be careful. So even though we want to try again in this new direction, there is some kind of competition here. Maybe that they are currently with a third party. We've got the snake showing up, which makes sense. We're just almost out of the year of the snake. 2 more days until we're out of the year of the snake. So there is another woman. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Could be other man, but it says other woman. Roles can be reversed. Just take it how it resonates. So it's just being mindful. Look over your shoulder. I always say, you know your worth. You know how magical and beautiful and wise and intelligent you are. So that intuitive knowing should already put you on a higher pedestal. We don't have to be worried about any snakes because they're in the grass and we're up here on the pedestals. Okay? And that's not coming from an egotistical mindset. That's coming from a worth mindset. That's you knowing how much you've grown, how beautiful and rich you are on every level, right? Look how rich this red color is. You've already gone through the dark night of the soul. You know that you don't need to compete with anybody. They may be putting you in a position that another person feels like they are now in a competition or that they've got an enemy because somebody's still in love with the person that they're currently talking to right now. But I truly think that that's a distraction here. And even if there is another third party energy, that is meant for a reason. They're meant to grow through that and learn lessons through them before they're able to come back to you. So don't worry about this snake energy. The bitterness, camera, of course. They're still thinking about you. They're reminiscing about you. That's why that other third party is worried about you. They are learning from the past. They're finding this new perspective, which is beautiful. And you guys made so many beautiful memories together. They're looking back on pictures of you guys. Look at this. They're definitely reminiscing on your connection, even though they could have something else going on right now. So over this rejection card, ooh, there's a higher commitment coming through. We have the engagement ring coming in. Look at this. Ooh, I love when things happen like this. Look at this red rose, new beginnings. They're going to offer you a higher commitment. So the engagement ring doesn't always mean that they're going to literally propose to you, but it means that some kind of higher commitment is coming through. The words eternity here, partnership, a union, and completion. What, right? We got all those number 9 completion number cards. So this partnership is coming in. Union with you guys is coming in. But they have to, before they can move forward on the chariot, right, towards you and this beautiful new beginning of union and partnership, offering you a new higher level of commitment, they have to release any old irrational fears. This pain and trauma from past rejections, abandonment issues, and being dismissed within your relationship in other family dynamics or previous relationships, all of those need to be dissolved before this can come back in. Okay? And then over this emotional storm. So the King of Cups, we love this. Okay, I still want one more. We've got a bunch of people having fun partying on the beach, the playa. So, in the future, before this King of Cups can really find this emotional balance and become the supportive partner that you need and be empathetic to this whole situation, they need to get through this emotional storm. How are they dealing and coping with this emotional storm right now? Is covering their eyes, right? They're feeling unstable and affected by all of this. So they are unfortunately trying to just stay blinded to the emotions and stay happily single, have fun, spending time with their friends, living in the moment, which is not a bad thing. Remember that they need, somebody could play soccer here. Somebody's playing soccer on the beach. Remember, they need to find this grounding energy before they can feel comfortable just diving into the deep end of their emotional depths. So right now they are just kind of in party mode. They're deflecting. They are self-soothing, going out, having fun with their friends, having fun being single. And yeah, that's why that third party energy did come through with, they're having a distraction right now with somebody else. And that's okay because they're going through this emotional storm. Wouldn't you rather than be distracted through this emotional storm with somebody else getting this party stage, this single stage out of their system, right? Before they come back to you as a stable King of Cups? That's what I'm saying. Okay. So come back in for part 2 where we're going to talk about this new beginning. Love you guys. Happy Soulmate Sunday.